Transforming your life through hypnotherapy has never been easier. With the help of your host, Julie from coachinghypnosis.net, and these power-packed minisodes, you're sure to find yourself engaging in more positive behaviors around both your physical and mental health. Here's your host, Julie.
G'day, it's Julie from coachinghypnosis.net, and you deserve to know the one massive depression hypnosis pick-me-up for 2022, because people are sick of the world's bologna sandwiches and feeling heavy, lethargic, and wondering if it's worth getting out of bed today. I'm not a therapist or a psychotherapist, but this is my 9th year as a clinical hypnotherapist in strategic psychotherapy. I help my clients online. They change their life without changing out of their pajamas. And you deserve to know what hypnotists listen and look for when treating depression, and the feelings and thoughts and sensations that can be shifted, the latest biological treatments for depression. Know if video conference mental behavioural health services are as good as in person, and if you should give mindfulness a go. First of all, I'm not an expert on depression or a depression hypnosis expert, but I do have 130,000 listens on a wellness app called Aura, and some of my hypnosis tracks are about the topic of depression. And to be honest, it scares the crap out of me. When I first learned hypnosis, we were told not to go near a depressed client until we had at least 10 years experience. And when I was at 9 years experience, I noticed all the veteran suicides, the increase in adult male suicides, and adolescent depression. I knew I had to do something. So in my 9th year, I decided to create hypnotherapy tracks about depression. And if I haven't been clear, I'm so paranoid about someone ending their life after listening to one of my hypnotherapy tracks that even though the last 9 years of my life, I've attended multiple suicide prevention or depression programs like Assist. Assist makes a difference because it's the world's leading suicide intervention workshop. It's also been proven to reduce suicidality for those at risk. A 2013 study that monitored over 15,000 suicidal callers to crisis lines found that callers who spoke to Assist-trained counsellors were 74% less likely to be suicidal after the call, compared to callers who spoke to counsellors trained in methods other than Assist. Callers were also less overwhelmed, less depressed, more hopeful after speaking with an Assist-trained counsellor. Imagine knowing what to do in a crisis, feeling calm, confident, knowing the right technique to use in those heavy moments. The good news is it only takes 2 days, 15 hours of training to complete the course. And anyone 16 or older can participate. And if you don't want to do the course in English, there are other languages available. Over 80,000 people in Australia have attended Assist, and it's available in all states and territories. And I've attended a few Rethinking Depression courses with Michael Yapko. Yapko is an American, and he is the leading expert on depression. He has dealt with clients that literally say stuff like, "If you don't fix me, I'll go home and blow my brains out." And I remember thinking at that time, I'm so grateful for our strict gun laws here in Australia, and I'm happy to wait 10 years before I see a depressed client. But the app I currently create content for now is American. So you can imagine there are a few months of me tossing and turning and thinking, I'm not sure I can write about depression just yet. I've also attended Keys to Addressing Depression Realistically, Developments in the Active Treatment of Depression and Relieving Depression by Bill O'Hanlon. And I like Bill O'Hanlon because he once had depression and he's really good at describing what it's like to have depression. He's a great hypnotist, but he doesn't think he's that great as a hypnotist. So maybe there's a small need for what I've been doing. And I can only imagine someone like you understands the amount of double checking I do before I hit the send button on my hypnosis tracks. But what's worse, sometimes my tracks get rejected for not being positive enough. But the truth is, the reason why my depression tracks are popular, it's because people with depression understand me. I say things like, life's a bunch of baloney. I want you to do absolutely nothing. In fact, I don't want you to exercise. I don't want you to move, because I don't know the last time you got to leave the world's BS out there to spend some quality, peaceful time with yourself here. And obviously my hypnosis tracks end in a positive way, but the worst thing someone could do when you're down and out is pretend everything's fine and just to be happy. All that positivity can send you over the edge. And most likely, just like you, I get up every day and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of the hypnotherapy opportunities and that everyone's still here, fingers crossed. So you can only imagine how much I wanted to talk about depression hypnosis. It turns out the search term depression hypnosis is popular on Google, but it's not that popular. It's the 34th most popular topic out of 60 that I'll talk about. So not as popular as zombie, sleep, aliens, or anxiety, but almost. And before I tell you the one thing that hypnosis can do that most therapies can't do, I need to let you know, if you are depressed, first check with your doctor or therapist if hypnosis should or shouldn't complement your treatment plan. But I'm guessing someone like you who's actively caring for yourself, looking things up about depression on the internet with psychoeducation, discovering what works and what doesn't, you have all that stuff sorted already. Because what hypnosis can do is disassociation. Because often people with depressive symptoms, their memories become depressed. And when they manage their depression, their memories return back to normal. So it's challenging for a person under the weight of depression to think of fun times, to access positive feelings, to feel the same way about foods they used to or places they used to love to go to. Everything's a bit different. But a hypnotist, for example, can use a disassociation technique. A well-known disassociation technique is a crystal ball technique. I can say to a client, imagine a crystal ball in your right hand and put the planet in it, the planet Earth, the moon, and you can see your country. And if you look a little closer, perhaps you can see your town. You can zoom into your home, watch yourself watching TV in that tiny crystal ball. And I don't know if you're thinking you could be a little kinder to yourself or something else. But what I do know is, while your life is in that crystal ball, you can relax over here. And what people love about that feeling is their thoughts are clearer. They enjoy the silence. Life seems peaceful. And disassociation gets clients out of their head. And there are different types of disassociations. Thoughts from feelings, feelings from actions, the perspective from the past to the present to the future, from another person's perspective, or from the arm to the body, from the left side to the right side, to distinguish yourself from circumstances. And as far as I'm aware, only hypnosis or NLP has the capacity to do this. And the things I listen for in client interviews are endless. Language patterns, if they are past or future orientated, if their thoughts are spinning, or if it's more of a feeling kind of thing. Or it can be all of those things, or none of those things, or something else, because I just want to shift the client to where the depression might not exist. It might not exist in a crystal ball, or I might make the client put their depression inside a crystal ball so they can talk to it, observe it, or no longer feel it. For example, if the client was making decisions, gut decisions, going by their gut feelings, and this might have been what was contributing to their path of depression, I might get them to think only about long-term outcomes instead, or only make decisions how you used to before you were depressed, or only make decisions out of novelty. And part of it's pattern interrupt. But the fact is, you deserve to feel fabulous all the time, and you deserve to live the life that you want to live. And if hypnosis is too woo-woo for you, there are some great new options with promising results. So check with your doctor. There's MERT, magnetic E-resonance therapy, Stanford Accelerated Intelligent Neuromodulation Therapy, intravenous ketamine therapy, esketamine, brexalone, whole body cryotherapy, psychedelics, particularly the magic mushroom and MDMA, or ecstasy, or myocilline, a widely used antibiotic. But are video conference mental and behavioural services just as good as in person? It turns out being physically present with a client doesn't appear essential to generating therapeutic outcomes. So knock yourself out on Zoom, Skype, and FaceTime, because telepsychiatry for the treatment of depression offers equal or better patient satisfaction and symptom relief compared to face-to-face interventions, according to a systematic review published online in the Community Mental Health Journal. And there are 10,000 to 20,000 mental health apps out there. Headspace and Calm are the most popular, but the expert app on treating depression with proven results and trained therapists and an expert hypnosis tracks by Michael Yapko is the app Mindset. It's in your pocket 24/7. Help is instantly there, available 24/7, and you can get it from the iPhone App Store. And there are still ongoing mental health effects from COVID-19. There was a sharp increase in rates of depression and anxiety, feelings of uncertainty, hopelessness. There were forced life changes, alterations in routine, anger, homeschooling, increased financial pressures, social isolation, sadness, fears of getting sick, difficulty sorting out truth from fiction, the nonsense on the internet, increased use of alcohol and drugs and smoking, pandemic fatigue, social isolation, and comparative health risks. But to steal an excerpt from Yapko's presentation, Rethinking Depression, in a study published in July 2010 in the open access journal PLOS Medicine, psychologist Dr. Julianne Holt Lundstad and her team at Birmingham Young University conducted a meta-analysis of studies that examined social relationships and their effects on health. They looked at 148 studies that covered more than 308,000 people. It turns out a lack of social relationships is the equivalent to 15 cigarettes per day. So socialize. And if you think of doing one thing different, exercise, because exercise has the equivalent effect of taking an antidepressant. I'm not saying end your medication because you need to keep taking it. What I'm saying is you can also make yourself better and increase your speed of recovery. Even a walk around the block will do. Start gradually. Find some fun things to do, like be the only old or young person learning surfing on a Monday, or walk to buy that can of soda, enjoy a virtual dance class, or start air guitar. If you don't like hypnosis, why not try mindfulness? In one study, 3,500 adults found that mindfulness meditation improved their symptoms of depression. Hypnosis and mindfulness can increase impulse control, increased frustration tolerance, enhance greater self-awareness and self-acceptance, and emotional self-regulation and coping skills. So what if you thought about depression hypnosis differently? But what if you didn't? The choice is yours.